am back. I just wanted to make sure I kind of jump in and give you guys, gals and folks, an update on POLS 1101 as we're working now into chapter 10. All right, so first let's talk about the project. Okay. I am still going through the projects. Please understand it takes a lot to make sure I go through these. Also, make sure I want to say thank you for everybody and your patience as I've been dealing with the passing of my father. I've been trying to make sure I'm still there, try to work as much as possible, but it has been difficult. But we are making it through this together because no one is immune to the trials and tribulations of life, but we're going to make it work. For your exam proposal, one thing I want to make sure I say this to everybody is that overall, great proposals. I really appreciate it. As far as proposal, make sure everybody know this because this is going to be the idea of the proposal is that you're going to have the majority of your project done. All you should have left to do is going to be your document analysis. Now, let me first speak on this whole notion of what we got to do with the presentation. Let me go back to the actual presentation sheet. That way you guys and folks kind of know what you got to do. What I would do is go here to where it says final exam. Then I'm going to open up the assignment. And what I'm about to show you is exactly what you have to have done, okay? So please make adjustments and changes as needed. When you go down here, this little graphic, when it comes up, this is what you have to do. You're going to have your title slide. You're then going to have your claim. That's all you're going to have, nothing else. Then after that, you're going to have your 4 APA citations. This should be done in proper APA format, including as far as being alphabetical order, not in bullet points, but just alphabetical order. And then what you're supposed to have is for each of these citations you have the citation at the top and then your annotation. So that's what y'all should have at this particular point. Slides 1 through 7 or so should be fully complete and done. Make sure that you remember that this is not a research project where you're just trying to find information, but you're actually going to be making an argument and claim, which is why you have a claim about your topic. And you got to talk about how that topic relates both to local policies here in Georgia, but also on the federal level. That's part of your analysis and your source comparison that you should be doing in the back end in the last part. So utilizing this right here is what you really should have right now. Make sure you all go back and make changes because not having this, you will fail the final exam, and I don't want y'all to do that. We have plenty of places to make sure y'all get help with this. You got 2 more assignments coming up before you actually turn in the final, but this right here is what you got to have. So let me go again. Title slide, claim, reference sheet. All this is in a normal Canva presentation. Then for each of your references, you have an annotation slide. You should have the reference at the very top, and then you have the annotation at the right below that. So that's where y'all should be right now as far as proposal. Some of y'all did this absolutely perfect. Others, we need to make sure make some changes, okay? So make sure that we are aware of that and know that it's coming up. And again, you're gonna have a feedback assignment on the 23rd. You also gonna have a discussion post where y'all be reflected on the student's presentation. As for my African American Studies class, but it's still the same way I have the project set up. That being said, let's go into now chapter 10, okay? So this week we're looking at mainly interest groups and lobbying. So it's not a huge assignment, but you got some stuff going on. Now, be clear, you also for your project has to have at least one credible source, like an academic journal. And I'm giving you a lot of those, right? So here are 2 videos that you're going to be watching and taking notes on. I provide you the transcripts here. And then you also have another presentation to talk about the difference between lobbyists and PACs. This information y'all can use in your projects. In fact, I expect you to. So the idea of not having sources is really kind of becoming mute. Now, also, when you go back to this particular one here for the reading assignment, you have here you have your textbook. Then I gave you here an academic source. So when you click on this source, this is what I'm talking about as far as academic research. So all of your topics are going to have a lobbying group. So you might want to consider using this for your research. And guess what you have to do this week? You have to take notes on that article, which means you're going to have an annotation for it, meaning you're going to have a full understanding of the article. So I'm looking for y'all to actually use that, okay? So follow the instructions here. And that's the main thing y'all have this week. This week is just going to be taking notes on your readings and your videos. Submit that, and that is absolutely it. If you have any kind of questions or concerns, please let me know. Remember that I'm also dropping your lowest grades. I think right now you have 3 of your assignments, 3 of your discussions. You're going to have 1 part of the project be dropped. So I'm trying to help y'all out. So if you miss a deadline, you miss a deadline, keep moving. Do not email me any work, y'all. Please do not email me any work. I get far too many emails. Your work will get lost. You got to make sure everything's in Blackboard to help you be good with that. If you have any kind of questions or concerns, please let me know. But I'm here to help you best I can. Keep pushing through. Remember, no matter what your grade is, that final project is everything. You do good on a project, you will pass this course. And I know everybody in this class will pass it. So just keep pushing. And I got y'all if y'all need help, okay? Again, thank you again for your patience, your kind words, and everything that I've been going through this last few weeks with the passing of my dad. I appreciate all of you, and let's keep going.